Hi there, Becky here from 168 Fitness. So over the next few weeks and previous weeks, I've been giving you top tips on how to achieve your health, fitness and weight loss goals before the end of 2020 and before Christmas. So hopefully you've made a start and got some good advice so far from those top tips. This week I'm talking a little bit about water in two different ways. So my first top tip is to drink more water. Water is essential for the body, and we need to keep hydrated in order to perform our daily functions and keep our body healthy. I'm sure we all know that, and we all probably know we should be drinking at least sort of 2 litres of water a day. So what I want you to focus on this week is sort of increasing your water intake. Now I drink about between 4 and 6 litres of water a day because I am exercising sometimes sort of 2 or 3 times a day. And also I just really like the taste of water. I drink coffee as well, but water is my only other liquid that I'm consuming, my only other drink. So I get through quite a lot of water a day. Now I'm not saying you need to be drinking that much, because unless you're sweating it out, you don't want to overhydrate. But everyone should be drinking at least sort of 2 litres a day in order to keep hydrated, keep healthy. And replace the fluids lost through sweating, which I know at this time of year you perhaps don't think you're sweating as much, but you will be. It's natural for your body to be sweating on a daily basis. So drinking at least 2 litres of water a day. If you're already drinking that, then you might want to try and increase it to 3 litres, but just gradually add in an extra glass of water a day. But really focus on that 2 litres. Now I'll just show you what I use for, luckily it's nearly empty. This is a 2 litre, it's just over 2 litre actually. I use one of these bottles. And because at the moment I'm working from home all the time, I don't have to carry this around with me too much. I pour it into a glass, and I actually always use a pint glass as well. And that helps me to drink more water on a daily basis, because I just feel like I can drink it all in one go, and that's a lot of water in one go, but it does help me to just get through it quite easily. And some of you may prefer cold water, some prefer room temperature. Go with whatever you fancy. There's no right and wrong in terms of that. Your body actually prefers sort of room temperature, sort of not warm water, but warmer water. But if you prefer ice cold water, that's absolutely fine. And even adding a little bit of squash would be fine as well if you don't really like the taste of water. Even better would be adding sort of some lemon, sliced lemon or something like that, just to add a bit of flavour to it, but keeping it natural as well. So increasing your water intake, really good for just health and feeling better, feeling more healthy about yourself, but also can help with reducing how much you're eating, and because sometimes we think we're hungry when actually we're thirsty. So if ever you feel hungry, I always suggest trying to just have some water, have a glass of water first, and just leave that a few minutes and see whether that sort of ticks the box. And just trying to just keep drinking water all day long, just to try and stop you from snacking and reaching for biscuits and things like that as well. So increasing your water intake, being more aware of that is my first tip. And then my second tip on the same subject of water, if any of you are feeling you've got any niggles at the moment, in particular I know knees, especially at this time of year when it's cold and we're not always necessarily warming up before we're doing exercise, or not warming up enough and stuff. It's really easy to sort of feel some extra niggles and stuff, and that will, most people, it's pretty common to feel some aches and pains and things. And I always say that if it goes above, the pain goes above sort of 7 out of 10, especially 8 out of 10, things like that, then that's when you need to stop and you need to perhaps rest for a bit and do something else in the long term. It's not worth pushing through that pain on a long-term basis. However, if your sort of pain has been there for a while, it's just long-term kind of knee pain, bit of aches, bit of creaking, that sort of thing, then one of my top tips would be to look at icing, in particular like your knees or shoulders or wherever it is that you're feeling that pain. Look at icing it on a daily basis. Now, this is something I've had great success with when I was feeling like I needed to stop running for a bit, just because my knee, one of my knees was just really pulling, and not only crunching, creaking, all of those noises that I would usually feel, but just actually really hurting, and was feeling quite warm as well. So I knew something was going on in the knee joint. So I got a knee ice pack. Well, it's not just for knees. It's an ice pack that you can wrap around fabric. Have I got it somewhere there? You put an ice pack in it and wrap it around, and it just sort of secures itself there. And that was really good. I used that for a good month, or towards the end of the month I didn't need it anymore, but for a good few weeks I was using that every day, sometimes twice a day. Towards the end, more as a sort of precaution, wanting to make sure it was fully recovered. Still kept running. I did have 1 week off, so obviously the rest will have inputted as well. But that ice pack did no end of good for me. Now, I believe it was because it was just slightly inflamed in my knee, something was, and it was just irritated at that time. I hadn't increased my running, I hadn't done anything different in my training at all. Nothing had particularly changed, so I knew there wasn't anything, there was no trauma to it as such. So just icing it just really helped. It just reduced that swelling that was inside the knee, and meant that everything could just sort of go back into place and could move smoothly, and everything was just sort of flowing again. So that's why I would always recommend just having an ice pack. If you've got one of those ones that's sort of flexible that can wrap around the knee or wherever it is you need to do it, then they are great, because it will just be a lot easier to hold on. But if you haven't, just a standard ice pack or a pack of peas or something like that, but doing it every day, at least once a day, maybe even twice a day. Have your leg up if it's your knee, or wherever it is that you're feeling the pain, shins, ankles, hips, wherever. Just making sure you do it every day to really feel the benefit, and that should hopefully, I'm not saying it will cure everything, but it will do some good. I'm sure it won't do any harm, at least, so it's worth a try. And yeah, it hopefully will help with any niggles that you've got, because it's inevitable that at some point you'll probably feel some kind of aches and pains and stuff, because you're pushing your body with exercise and activity. So it's really good to keep on top of those, and that's how I do it. So yeah, give those 2 top tips a try this week. I'll be back next week with some more top tips for you.